In today's video, we are taking my barrel horses Chester and Dakota to a nice indoor arena to get them some really good workouts and prepare them for some upcoming races.
I just thought we could turn further apart. I have my two main barrel ponies behind me, and we have hauled them to a nice indoor arena to get them some exercise, so let's get them saddled.
I'm going to go ahead and saddle both of them up, so I'm going to brush them both really good, making sure where the saddle pads go, where the cinches go, and all of that is clean.
There's also some very loud college football practice happening right across the street, so they are not loving that, but I guess it's a good thing. They are rodeo ponies. Oh, but Chester's not loving it. Now that Chester is brushed and ready to saddle, we are going to get Dakota brushed, and then we will throw both saddles on them. Dakota is riding in a very, very pretty saddle today, and then Chester is riding in my normal barrel saddle.
Once they are groomed, it is time for me to grab a saddle pad and start tacking them up. I'm really still experimenting with Dakota, so today I'm riding him in this build-up saddle pad. It's been working really good for him, I think, with my other saddle, but the saddle I rode in him today, he probably did not need it, but I am still figuring that out. This super cute Brandy Master saddle is what he is going to be riding in today, and it looks so good on him. I totally did not forget to grab the back cinch. I have no idea what you're talking about. So today we are just doing a front cinch on him, which is fine. So I just loosely get that tightened. That way it'll stay on if he shakes, but it's not super cinched up at the trailer, because I still have to get Chester tacked up and then get them both into the arena. And if you order a master saddle through my name, through my description, you will get a matching breast collar and $100 off your order. So this is the matching breast collar that comes with this Brandy saddle, and they look really, really good together. Now we can move on to Chester, and I'm riding him in this master saddle pad, which I am really enjoying on him. So let's go throw it on. It is much lower profile than the one that is on Dakota. Now I'm just throwing on my normal barrel saddle. It's also a master, but you see it in every video.
Did you get fatter?
So just like with Dakota, I'm going to do the front cinch loosely, but once I have that front cinch done, I'm going to grab the back cinch and do it loosely as well.
I'm going to switch the breast collar.
Chester is going to be riding in this Pendleton breast color. I think it looks really, really good with him. I think it suits his color really well. I had Dakota's tail up in this Barrel Bling tail bag, so now I'm going to take it down.
He has a nice little curl.
You can ride in tail bags, but I don't really like to, and his tail can be nice and wavy for the video. Look at how cute it looks. It turned out really good. Now we are going to move on to bell boots. Dakota is getting these Hothead Stalls Louis Vuitton or designer bell boots, and then I'm just throwing a practice pair on Chester. They were really the first thing I saw, so that's what I used, and they're these mismatched Iconoclast black bell boots.
Now that I have my helmet on, we are ready to go. I'm going to start riding Dakota first, and then we will get to Chester. Chester has had a break, so I will be very interested to see how our ride goes this evening.
Even though I'm riding Dakota first, we are going to go ahead and take both of them into the arena with their bits. This way I don't have to leave the arena to switch horses. It just makes it a little more time efficient. I always lead with one side of the reins unclipped, and I leave it unclipped while I cinch up the saddle. I never want a horse to get their foot caught through that loop. I've seen it and it's not a fun situation, so I just like to avoid it. I tighten that saddle so I'm not going to slide right off the edge, and once that saddle is tight, I can clip that other side of the rein and get on. So this exercise is to keep Dakota in shape and also really kind of bump him up into better shape. So I walk him around for a while, really letting him get a good look at everything because he has never been here before and there was a lot going on. Once I'm done with our walkabout, I will pick up the pace and ask for a nice trot. I am going to post the trot on him to encourage him picking up his feet more and really covering some ground, and I will do this for probably about 10 minutes. I will go this way a little bit and then you will see me make a figure 8 through the middle of the arena to change directions, not breaking the trot. Now that we have done some big laps, we are going to go in some smaller circles. Smaller circles are harder. They make the horse work just a little bit more. So I'm doing about a little less than half of the arena here, still keeping that nice posted trot. When I'm done making little circles to the left, I ask him to stop and then we pivot and turn around to do the same thing to the right. From this trot, I will kick him up into a lope, which really just means I put my outside leg in him and smooch, and he just lopes right off. So we will do small loping circles like this for probably 6 or so minutes, and then I will let him walk a little bit before turning around and going the other way. I like to keep them very even on both directions. After a little rest, I turn around and lope to the left, asking for that same lope off, and he wanted to go a little bit more to this direction, but he did slow down and still give me that really, really nice, smooth lope. When I'm done, I drop my hand and say, whoa, and I really did not know what to expect. So when this happened and he gave me this super nice stop here, I was pretty shocked. I think that's the first time I've asked him to whoa from the lope, and he did good. So I pet him, and that concludes his little workout today. So I will walk him out to really cool him out before I will hop off. And right when I hop off, I will loosen the cinches after I unclip that other side of the reins, for the same reason I mentioned before we got on. So I'm going to loosen the saddle before I go tie him up, and I will actually completely take the saddle off before I get on Chester because it's pretty hot here. Dakota also got a nice drink of water, and now it is Chester's turn. So I hop on him and we walk for a little bit before I ask him for a sitting trot. Chester is what you would call a hot horse for sure, so I really have to kind of slow things down for him and really get his mind engaged and get him soft, or else he will literally run around like a chicken with his head cut off, which he is definitely wanting to do today. He had a lot of energy. He was really needing to get out. But instead of just making big circles and letting him, really try to fight me to increase the pace, I'm going to get his mind moving, and we are going to do some figure eights, and I will change the direction of the figure eight every once in a while to keep it interesting and keep him thinking. I am trying to ask him to put his head down, but we are really just working on the speed at the moment. Here he throws a little fit because I'm not letting him go as fast as he would like, so I just really ignore it, get his head back facing the middle, and just act like his toddler tantrum didn't happen. And then I ask him to lope, and he gives me a pretty nice lope to the left. It took me a second to get him down, but I was proud of this for how that trotting was going. I will definitely take this as a victory as I work him back up to his happy place after his long and much deserved break. Here he is looking really pretty. His head could be a little lower, but this is looking good to me. Okay, now to the right, we do have a little crossfire situation going on. For some reason, my brain just told me he was being rough in the lope because ain't nobody told me nothing. So that is why that was allowed. But when he got calmed down and gave me a nice lope to the right, minus the crossfire, I stopped him, pet him, and I hopped off. He is pretty sweaty. He sweats a lot when he has to think, and it is a little bit hotter. So I'm going to go and get that tack off as soon as I can, and I will get him in the wash rack to spray him off. For some reason, he really hates this wash rack and never wants to go in it, so I do have to take a little time convincing him to get in here, and then I start cooling him off with some nice cold water, really getting all of that sweat off and getting his main muscle groups to help him cool off faster. After Chester, I also sprayed Dakota off, but I do not have a video of that, and then we tied them at the trailer to dry off for a second. Here are some happy, worked out ponies that are ready to go home and go to sleep and eat dinner, but for right now, they of course get treats. Dakota really loves treats, and he is so sweet. Once I was done petting on him and giving them their little snacks, it was time to load them back up in the trailer to go home, which they do have some alfalfa bags in here to snack on. The drive is probably about 10 minutes, I would say, maybe just a little bit more, but not too far, and there Chester goes, loading himself up like an angel. Love to see it. So I get them shut in there, and then we head off to go back to the barn. When we get to the barn, everybody gets a minute to go outside. Of course, Kite was already in his pasture out here. After Chester was done in the turnout for a minute, Dakota got to go and he got a nice big drink and they got their dinner. They were both so excited about that. I, of course, let them cool off really good after their workout and did some chores at the barn before I fed them.
Everyone is in their stalls, they've been fed, and they are happy, and we will see you in a new video very soon, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Bye!